Okay, today we are solving inequalities. It's just like solving equations with a slight difference that you have to be aware of. Other than that, it's exactly the same. So, for example, 5 minus 6x is less than or equal to 10. And we need to find what x is less than or equal to. So, we just pretend this is an equal sign for now. Don't let this symbol freak you out. It's basically just an equal sign as far as we're concerned. And we're going to start by subtracting 5 from both sides. So we have negative 6x less than or equal to 5. And the next step we do is just divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6, and we get negative 5, 6. Now, the only reason this is different from what we did before was the fact that this is an inequality. It's not actually an equation. It's an inequality. So the only thing you have to worry about is when you divide or multiply by a negative number, this changes this symbol around and it gets flipped. Like this. If we didn't divide or multiply by a negative number like we did here, this would just remain exactly the same and this would not get flipped. And when we say x is greater than or equal to negative 5/6, what this really means is something like this. So on a number line, we have 0, negative infinity, positive infinity, just like that. And we'll say negative 5/6 is here, because why not? What this is saying that is that x is greater than or equal to negative 5/6. It's not saying x is equal to one number, but it's actually saying x is equal to a lot of numbers. Anything that's greater than or equal to this number. So all the things that are greater than this, these are all possible solutions for x that would still make this inequality true. Okay, let's just make it a little bit harder. You're going to have some problems that look like this. 2 is less than x plus 7 less than or equal to 8. And it's really strange because we haven't seen anything like this yet, but what this really is two separate inequalities. It's this part and this part. We can solve them separately or we can solve them together. I think it's easier to just solve them at the same time, so I'll show you how to do that. Once again, you just want to get everything away from x. So what are you going to do to get everything away from x? I'm just going to subtract this 7. However, when I do this, I'm solving two separate equations, so I have to make sure that I'm doing this twice. If you don't do it twice, you're not being fair, because this is really two inequalities in one. You have to be fair to all the parts of this. So 2 minus 7 is negative 5. 8 minus 7 is 1. And notice I did not flip any of the signs. They're all the same. And that's because we did not divide or multiply by a negative number. We subtracted a number, but that is not the same as division or multiplication. So this is going to be your answer.